Hey everybody, we're back with What Will, much like how the game has promised us time and time again, be the last time we visit the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. It's been a long road, 38 different parts I believe, spread out over the course of more than 38 weeks I believe, for a playthrough that has lasted almost a year. We've already pinned Male Strongheart at the heart of the massive conspiracy of the Reaper of the Bailey, so now we just gotta wrap things up. Oh, I didn't even do the final type out. Alright. Meanwhile, back in the defendant's chamber. It really is all over. But did I sacrifice too much? Mr. Naruhodo. I really must congratulate you. It was truly splendid performance. Honestly, I couldn't be happier for you. Oh, thank you very much. But I really couldn't have done it without you at my side through it all, Miss Susato. Oh! Your kind words mean so much to me. It really was a very splendid show, that, Naruhodo. I had thought you'd be smiling from ear to ear, but you look rather glum. Well, of course I'm delighted about the verdict. But in exposing the truth, I'm afraid I caused my client a great deal of pain. I'm really not sure that's what a lawyer ought to be doing. Oh, well, in that case, I'm quite sure that when you see Lord Van Zyke's smiling face, everything will seem much better. Nope. Oh, welcome to Tiny Twirl. Thank you for the 22-month resub. I will try to make sure this stream justifies your leaving Sinister Urge. Miss Susato, everything seems worse. He has a face like thunder. Oh dear, I really shouldn't have presumed. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Almost a year it's been now since I first encountered you here in this very courthouse. For you to have risen to the level of excellence you demonstrated today. Well, it's quite remarkable. But I exposed the most unpalatable truth you could have ever imagined in court today. I feel as though I've robbed you of something you held so dear. What was it he said? To fight those who dwell in darkness requires at least some of us to occupy the darkness ourselves. But that was just the feeble excuse of a coward. Only those with a steadfast eye for the truth have what it takes to fight the dark forces of crime. You made fine work of establishing that fact in court today. Oh. Well, thank you. What magnanimous words! I'm quite sure that Kazuma-sama would have the smile on his face at this very moment if he were here. Kazuma. Ah! Hey, this is the defendant's antechamber. Go away! Miss Susato. There's another face like thunder here. Oh my! And he really was here. Lord Van Zykes. Allow me to congratulate you on your acquittal. I tried really hard, but it failed. Congratulate me, or curse me. You failed to bring down the Reaper. I owe you an apology. No, it is I who should apologize. Your father, Genshin. If I had had been stronger, then perhaps I made an unforgivable error of judgment. I can offer no excuse. And I can offer no forgiveness. That said, I suppose you fought for justice and the truth. For that, at least, I can't withhold respect. Your words mean more to me than you could know. I will hold them dear. Next to my cold heart. Kazuma-sama. I must say, there's one thing that's still bothering me. What's that? The will that Lord Clint Van Zykes wrote before his duel with my father. Asogi is a fine detective and a hunter worthy of respect. He has agreed to honor my final two wishes. The first is that this document survives. The second, I cannot commit to paper. I have confessed my sins to my wife. May she find resolution in my death. With my eternal gratitude to my Japanese friend, I rest my quill. Clint Van Zykes. What can the second of his final wishes have been? That your father agreed to honor, you mean? Who could this be? I think perhaps... Oh, it's you. I might be able to shed some light on that. What? Father? It was 10 years ago, as you know. The day before the execution was scheduled. I went to the prison to say my farewells to Genshin. Aren't you putting up more of a fight, Genshin? If you'd only agree to it, Shishiro and I would gladly petition the government. We've been through this already. You don't need to worry about me. Anyway, Yujin, I have a favor to ask of you. Something of a great importance. You're one of my greatest friends, Genshin. Whatever it is, consider it done. I'm going to tell you an address. I need you to go there at once, in secret and telling no one. You should find a lady of the gentry in hiding there. A lady of the gentry? She's not in a good way. She's with child. The birth is imminent. As a medical man, I'd like you to attend to her. Please, you're her only hope. By any chance, is the child yours, Genshin? Don't be daft. It's a favor that was asked of me by a man I knew, as his dying wish. My goodness. I swore to the man that I would help. But I would do whatever I could for his wife and his unborn child. But if something should happen to me, I need to ask you that same favor. You're the only person I know that I can truly rely on. What did you say? If something should happen to you? Tomorrow night, you're going to be... You never know, though, do you? What life will bring. Right then, tell me the address. I'll head there at once with Shishiro and... No, not with him. Pardon? This is a favor I'm asking of you, and only you, Yujin. Right, I see. Very well then. Spark missing for the Prime Resub. That very night, I caught a train from Paddington to Dartmoor in Devon. I had to run over a damn bear. Found the old house. In the middle of nowhere it was. An old hunting hound lay asleep in the grounds. I killed him and then went inside. The poor woman was on the floor, at the back of a darkened room. She was in mortal danger. I broke her waters to precipitate the labor before she weakened further. It was a torturous birth. I did everything humanly possible for her and her child. Well, maybe take the damn corset off. I don't think that was helping the pregnancy at all. And in the end, I was lucky enough to welcome a new life into the world. But tragically, my efforts to save the mother's life were in vain. I held the healthy newborn girl in my arms and wept for longer than I care to remember. Eventually, in something of a daze, I looked around the room. There was precious little in it, but an old travel trunk caught my eye. Just big enough to fit the baby in. It had clearly been well looked after over the years, made of top-quality leather with fine stitching. It was when I saw the emblem on the side of it that everything dropped into place. B for Baskerville. Baskerville? You mean the woman was the wife of Lord Clint Van Zykes? That's right. The newborn was his daughter. But that makes no sense. Why on earth wouldn't Clint have entrusted the child to my care in that case? I wouldn't have drinking the newborn's blood. I was completely unaware he even had a daughter. I suppose he didn't really have any choice. What? Well, your brother said that he confessed everything to his wife, so she must have been beside herself with worry for her child. If the true identity of the professor were ever to be made public, the girl would be forever branded as the daughter of the infamous mass murderer. Ah! So the only solution was to distance the young girl from the Van Zykes family as much as possible. I don't believe it. I imagine that in his final hour, Lord Clint Van Zykes made the obvious choice. He would have thought to himself, this Japanese man here is someone I can trust to kill me. Yeah, and he stowed her away in an abandoned cabin where it looks like she was probably gonna die with the baby still in her. I honored my promise to Genshin, of course. However, only a month later, I was summoned back to Japan. Without disclosing the parentage of the child, I couldn't obtain permission to take her with me. Oh, how awful. I was completely at a loss. In the end, I had to ask my great friend. I asked him if he would be a father to her. That being Mr. Sholmes, I presume? Yes. He took one look into my eyes and agreed to it on the spot. Mr. Sholmes has a heart of gold. Take a better look at it. Fool's gold, maybe. Really, all that can be said, and I did for the child, is to give her a name. Oh? When I'd come into Britain, I was trying to escape from the grief of losing my darling wife. So it was her name that I gave the little girl. Your wife's name, Professor Mikotoba? In other words, the name of my mother, Ayame Mikotoba. Oh! That's right. Ayame. Or in English, Iris. Iris? I had no idea. Ouch! Mr. Arhodo, what's wrong? This little thing just pinched me on the behind of my trouser pocket hard. Do it again. Oh, my dear fellows, can you hear me? Mr. Sholmes, is that you? Ow! Yeah, harder, harder! Oh! You see what excessive tugging can do? Let that be a lesson to you. Mr. Sholmes, we weren't able to thank you properly before, but you were simply marvelous. Your checkmate move was a stroke of genius. Indeed it was, wasn't it? I surpassed myself, I feel. It had become apparent to me that to stop the Lord Chief's injustice would require such measures. Runa! No, Susie! Oh, Iris! Oh, I'm so pleased. What a wonderful outcome. Her Majesty Queen Vicky said she thought my special blend was delicious. Oh, I'm sure she did. After all, no one brews more delicious tea than you do, Iris. Let's have a party to celebrate. And Mr. Reaper, you simply must come too. What? I'm afraid I couldn't. Reaper of the Bailey, flustered by a 10-year-old girl. Again. No, really? Oh, Pooh! But I give you my word that I shall present myself at your residence in the near future to express my gratitude. Oh, how lovely. You've promised now, I won't let you forget. Bye for now, then. Alright, Iris. Thank you for all your help earlier. Oh, that was nothing. Just come back home soon. Ow! Oh, one final pinch goodbye, was it? Well, I think I ought to be leaving. Lord Van Zykes, would you care to accompany me? Certainly. Mr. Naruhodo, allow me once again to express my deep gratitude to you. I believe you saved my life. Wait, Lord Van Zykes! Yes? What are you intending to do now? Well, clearly I shall have to resign from the prosecutor's office. Oh no! I intend to publicize the full truth about the professor case. Once that's done, the Van Zykes family will be ostracized completely from London society. Surely not. Don't call me Shirley. So as soon as I am free from my employment, I shall leave the capital. Oh, I see. Don't be a fool. Or maybe this is Cosma. Don't be a fool. Are those the actions of a man once feared as the mighty Reaper of the Bailey? I beg your pardon. For the past 10 years, you've endured that pseudonym and been cast as one of the dark forces yourself. Now that you've finally been freed from that disrepute, your battle is just beginning, surely. I said don't call me Shirley. Well, I certainly never expected to hear those words from your lips. I waited a very long time to come to London. Now I'm properly here. I intend to learn all that I can. Anyway, goodbye for now. Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Cosmo Sogi. It seems as though he's really matured suddenly. He's not the only one who's matured, Mr. Naruhodo. Huh? Well, I think we should make our way back to Baker Street. We must help Iris with tonight's dinner. We must. It was then that I came to an important decision about my future. Oh, it's the gunpowder plot tomorrow, guys. We all gotta be sure we can watch the Houses of Parliament blow up. I'm home. I don't really call this place home, but I'm here. I'm here. Damn it! About time you got here. I've been waiting ages, Otto. What are you doing with that colorful piece of history? It's a party, isn't it? Just gotta go up with a bang. I mean, fireworks, ideally. But when you ain't got fire, smoke's the next best thing, ain't it? There's a girl on Fresno Street who could help you with that, I think. Go there, never come back. Right! I'll remember that! You don't have to reload that thing every time I speak. You really must hear this. It's quite the most extraordinary thing. There we go. Jack it off! Jack it off! Jack it off! Jack it off! I assure you, it will defy your expectations. Take down every detail now, Migatoba. The world-famous great detective regaling his partner with a tale of adventure. A sight to behold. Would you care to hazard a guess? Where do you suppose the fiendish runaway had concealed himself? Would you believe? Inside the trunk I found abandoned in his cabin? I would believe it, yes. I say, Migatoba, I detect not a hint of surprise. I wonder why that is, Maybe because I was in there at the scene as well, Sholmes. What? You were? Then why the deuce did you say so before? Not quite the sight I was expecting to behold, but still. It's hard not to feel privileged to see it. Hello, Mr. Sholmes, Professor Migatoba. I'm finally back from the Bailey. And then Migatoba says, yes, I know. I came back with you. Poor Migatoba always being forgotten. And not a moment too soon. A feast prepared by Iris and Miss Susato awaits. I must say, I haven't seen Susato looking so happy in a long time. Oh, Runo, there you are! Dinner is on the table, everyone. Please do come and take a seat. Time to feel me boots! Don't talk. 38 weeks of this, and I still haven't gotten that damn forced Cockney accent. Goodness, is that really true, Gina? Yep, I'm losing me coppers cobblers and going back to what I know best. It's a diver's life for me. You're really leaving the police force? But why, Jenny? Well, the boss ain't around no more, so... Oh. Anyway, no matter how hard I try, that Reaper ain't never gonna accept a diver-turned-dick, is he? Well, people can change, you know. Ah yes, that reminds me. I rather thoughtfully offered to relieve the bailiff of this now defunct piece of evidence. Eh? It's the inspector's pocket watch. And the crown has been reattached. That watch was his pride and joy, a symbol of his great achievements at Scotland Yard. For 10 years without fail, it measured every second of the man's remarkable career. But now, it's stopped. Someone needs to keep the memory of Inspector Gregson's career alive. Do we have any fish and chips? Anybody? By taking on the great responsibility of winding that watch every single day again, and eating copious amounts of fish and chips. Yes, someone with an equally fierce detective spirit. It's gotta be me! Sorry, I just got nostalgic for a sec. There ain't no one else! Quite right. I mean, after all, the boss was... Well, he was my boss! Yes, Jenny, yes, he was! Oh yeah, and I made you a promise and all, didn't I, Iris? That I'd become a proper detective one day and track down your old man. Oh, well, good news. Don't have to worry about that anymore. He's dead. Alright, then it's decided. I'll do it, and I swear, I'll find your dad and bring him back in kicking and screaming. I'm not entirely sure that would be appropriate. Yes, I think Gina, it might be best to, well...
I think I'd like you to forget that promise, Jenny. Eh?
Iris?
Well, obviously, I've always wondered about who my real daddy is. Of course I have. I want to know where I come from. I thought it might tell me something about myself. But I've caused such a lot of trouble trying to find out for so many people. Early, Runo, Professor Mickey.
Oh no, not at all, my dear. Really, you owe no apology to anyone.
Well, anyway, I've decided to give up on it. Because I finally realized my daddy is the greatest in the world. I don't think it matters what his name is or where he's from. Don't you agree? Early?
With every word, Iris.
Thank you, Early. Thank you, Daddy.
Don't call me that. I think, Mikatoba. Yes, Sholmes? I think that I ought to express my gratitude to you. Oh? For 6 years, you and I solved many a mystery together. And during that time, I remember countless expressions of gratitude for our services. But a moment ago, I heard the most pleasing expression of gratitude of them all. I should never have experienced it. Were it not for you. You old softy, Sholmes. But I must confess, it's a weight off my mind to hear you say it. Well then, I think it's calls for a lengthy violin recital, wouldn't you say?
Oh, well, the food would go cold, that's the only problem. But maybe next week, Early?
Are you sure a week is long enough, Iris? I'm playing it now, and you're all listening. Even amidst the troubling of cases, even reeling from the most shocking of revelations, returning in the evening to this suite of rooms, there's always warmth and happiness to be had. The home of the world's greatest detective, and my home too, with my greatest family. Yeah, I still have my parents and a few cousins back in Japan, but fuck them. We're almost to the 5th of November, guys. This attic room has been my home and office for almost a year now. I've certainly had some unforgettable experiences whilst I've lived here. But I think now the time has come. Time to bid this place farewell. Naruhodo. Oh, you. Sorry, I thought you were your daughter. Oh, Professor! Are you alone? I didn't hear any sound from Susato's room. Yes, Suzato-san went out after dinner. She took a carriage. If we didn't already know this was the end of the game, that would probably lead to another murder case, wouldn't it? Something about an important matter she needed to take care of. Ah, I see. I wanted to thank you for what you did earlier. Oh? With Iris, I mean. When the subject of her father came up. Lord Clint Van Sykes. I made up my mind many years ago never to tell her who her real father was. That's what was agreed with Genshin, after all. Lord Clint Van Sykes' final wishes before he died, you mean? Yes, I had to take some rather drastic steps at times to protect that secret, you know. Calling Suzato back to Japan 6 months ago, for example. That's why? When I read Soseki-san's report about his final days in London, my heart nearly stopped. I stumbled across the crux of that terrible case, the dog's collar. The description of the Baskerville insignia left me with no doubt. Baskerville. If you decide to investigate that insignia, sooner or later you have made the connection to the Van Zykes. To make matters worse, Susato knew of the unpublished story as well. The story that Iris had written based on my notes from the time. Ah yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles. Exactly. It was a work of fiction, but based on the grim reality of a huge beast of a dog being used as a murder weapon. A dog with the Baskerville family emblem around its neck. With those two clues, I feared you and Susato might arrive at the truth. So I invented that story about having collapsed to justify her leaving London and returning to Japan at once. All in the aid of halting any investigations you and she might have been contemplating. I see. Something I never understood is why Susato-san came across that manuscript in Japan, though. You know, Iris is the Hound of the Baskerville story, I mean. Sholmes sent it to me. That was before Susato left Japan. He was very troubled about what should be done about it, you see. I'd read it and carelessly left it on my desk, which is where Susato came across it, of course. Ah. It was the only case Sholmes and I ever pursued that I didn't record in meticulous detail. I was stunned when I discovered that young Iris had pieced together so much of it from my paltry notes. Sholmes and I discussed the matter and decided that we couldn't allow the story's publication. Oh, that must have been a great telegram conversation. At that point, I returned the manuscript by post to Sholmes for safekeeping. So you did all that to stop Iris from finding out the truth about her father? That's right, because Sholmes had told me how astute she'd become. However, having witnessed events in court today, I must say my opinion was somewhat shifted. Oh? I think at some point in the future, the time will come for Iris to know the truth. And when it does, well, I believe it will be for the best. I think so too. Actually, Professor, I wanted to talk to you about something, too. Judging from that expression, I'd say you come to a decision, have you? Yes, I have. I will be returning with you to Japan. Are you quite sure? I'm really only here as a substitute for Kazuma. But he's here in Britain now, as originally intended. Although, the whole plot of why he's here kind of got lost. A locum student in Naruhodo doesn't really have a right to stay, I think. I see. Looking back now, when I first arrived here in February... my becoming a lawyer just seemed to be the way things turned out. I did love watching Holmes take his jacket off, though. Oh, I mean, with Kazuma, Susato-san, and Mr. Holmes all gently pushing me in that direction. I spent the best part of a year immersed in this world, but always aware of the seed of doubt inside me. Until today. Standing in that courtroom earlier, all doubts vanished from my mind. I was totally focused. I was sure of my belief in my client, and I was sure I could see the trial through. At the end of it, I finally realized no one else chose this path for me. I chose it myself. Path of a defense lawyer, eh? That may be our theme. Yes, that's what I am now. That's what I'll be going back with you to Japan as. and that's the path I'll be following for the rest of my life. Well, it sounds like you've made quite a resolution there. I have. Very well, then. I must say, it's extremely welcome news. I shall make arrangements for your return first thing tomorrow, but I don't imagine we'll depart for a few days. Now with the symposium having been cancelled now? Such a shame. Never mind, I'm sure there'll be other opportunities in the future. Well then, I'll bid you good night. Well, you got back fast. Have you been skulking there the whole time? That's rude. Susato-san. I just wanted to let you know I'm back. Did you, hear what your father and I were discussing? I'm sorry, I did, yes. I couldn't help, but... Oh, how much did you hear? Well, from the part about Iris's real father, I think. In other words, from the beginning. So you've made up your mind? You'll return to Japan and continue working as a defense lawyer. Yes, I'm sorry. I really should have consulted you about it. I did want to earlier this evening, actually, but you've already gone out. Oh no, that's quite alright. I already knew that it's what you decide, Naruhodo-san. You did? Susato-san. Yes? I suppose this means it has to be farewell soon. I suppose. He'll be a great help to Cosma going forward. I mean, I know he's a brilliant lawyer, but he's new to the British courtroom. It'll certainly benefit greatly having a brilliant judicial assistant at his side. I'll do my very best. I wish I could say it, but I just can't. I can't ask her to come with me. After all, she was always supposed to be coming to Britain as Cosma's assistant. It's growing late. We should both try to get some sleep. I'm sure you must be exhausted after today. Oh, yes, you're right. Before I retire, let me just say one more time. You really were quite splendid in court today. So if you ask me, anyone who thinks of you as a substitute or a locum should be ashamed of themselves. Especially Soseki! Susato-san. Thank you. They had a great night. Oh, we missed the 5th of November! Now it's just the 7th of November. I can't believe this day's finally come. It's only 3 days later. You're really leaving then, Runo? I'm afraid so, Iris. Thank you so much for everything. I don't know what I'll do without your wonderful cooking and delicious tea. Oh, I wish you weren't going. But you have to come back and visit. Say you will. Of course, I promise. And he never came back. Jacket's back on. Well, it was a very brief reunion, but it was a pleasure to pursue a case with you again after so long. For a while, at least, it felt like old times. Yes, I suppose on reflection, there's something to be said for it. Having a little fun once in a while.
I'll just go and say goodbye to the professor as well, I think.
Alright, Iris, you do that. Honk! That's you. That's what you sound like. Oh, hello. I guess we're doing this now.
I've just checked, Naruhodo-san. Your luggage is already on board. Such a beautiful morning. Perfect for embarking on a journey, isn't it?
Before I set off, I'd just like to say how thankful I am for everything you've done for me. And give my warmest regards to Kazuma, please.
Actually, I think you ought to give him your regards in person, don't you?
Sorry?
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke! That's not how you say it.
Kazuma! What are you doing here?
Do you really think I'd miss my best friend's departure?
Yes.
Thanks. To be honest, I'd been looking forward to our wild time tearing up the streets of Her Majesty's capital, but,
Well, we'll have to save that for another time. Personally, I'm looking forward to facing you in court again.
Me too. But, we're both defense lawyers, so,
And we're both British. Why is that?
I'm going to become a prosecutor. I'll stay in Lord Van Zeek's tutelage for the time being, but before long, I intend to be just as formidable as the Reaper himself.
Oh, I see.
Actually, Ryunosuke, I have a favor to ask.
Name it.
I'd like you to take care of this for me for a while.
Karuma? Why?
Because I've seen it now. I've seen what's inside me. The demon that reared its ugly head that day. It was only for the briefest of moments. The last time I came face to face with that inspector. But it was unmistakable. I wanted to kill him. I've always known there are demons that live inside people. And now I know there is one in me. The fact that it very nearly consumed me is something I'll carry with me. Until the end of my days. While I devote my life to fighting those whose demons have got the better of them. As a prosecutor.
So, that's what you've resolved to do, is it?
Until I'm ready to face the demon within me. To slay it once and for all. I leave this in your care.
Is there still a
If you'll
chip
take
in it?
Of course I will. I'll keep it by my side. Always. Until we meet again, then. You have your path to follow, and I have mine.
Naruhodo-san? The path you're going to follow from now on. I wonder if I might follow it at your side, and unless I'd be a burden.
Can you bring Sholmes with you?
I mean, I would very much like you to come with me. But aren't you...
I've fired
So
her ass.
predictable, Ryunosuke.
I am?
Honestly, you never change at all. But that's what I like about you.
You mean you knew about this?
It was the evening after Lord Van Zeek's trial came to an end. She came to see me at the prosecutor's office.
Really? Or when I had that conversation with Professor Mikotoba?
So, you'd go with Ryunosuke back to Japan?
Yes. I know it's unfair of me to follow my own interests like this.
Coming here especially to tell me. You're a stickler for etiquette, aren't you? Well, what are his feelings?
We've never discussed it, of course, and Naruhodo-san has made no such suggestion. I worry that perhaps I'd be a burden to him.
He's just as much of a stickler for etiquette as you are. He'd never say anything before he was asked. But I'd feel happy knowing you were with him. Look out for him on my behalf, will you?
Of course.
Susato-san.
What do you think, Naruhodo-san?
With you by my side, no trial would seem too daunting. So if you're willing, I'd be honored if you'd come with me. Together we can take on the world.
I'm terribly incompetent, but if you'll have me, I'd be delighted.
Oh, no, not at all. If anyone's terribly incompetent, it's me. Ah! What's
Yeah,
wrong?
just fuck already.
Your luggage, Susato-san. There's no time. The ship's going to set sail any minute now.
It's all right. There's no need to worry. As it happens, my luggage is already on board too.
It is?
Your fine judicial assistant has everything in hand as always, I see.
You two get the fuck on board!
Time to go then. Look after yourself, Ryunosuke.
Kazuma, draw your sword.
Time for some screen caps. I apologize for the sound, but I think the thumbnail's gonna show up in here. There we go. Yep, perfect.
One day, when our paths cross, once more, we'll fight a duel of words across the courtroom. A day I eagerly await, as a lawyer.
I've been waiting to hear you say that, partner.
Don't forget me then, Kazuma.
As if I could, Ryunosuke.
And Mr. Sholmes, thank you so much. I'm very much indebted to you.
Indeed, Mr. Naruhodo. I believe you are.
I'll never forget all you've done for me during my time in London.
Quite. I should like to think you will remember your debt of gratitude.
I'll remember you without your jacket on.
Especially when I visit you in your country. What? The truth is, although many are ignorant of the fact, the world is far smaller than most folk realize.
Iris has invented
I'd
teleportation!
be delighted if you came to Japan one day.
Oh yes! Would welcome you with open arms, Mr. Sholmes.
Oh, that sounds wonderful! I can't wait!
In that case, let us conclude that this is to be merely a brief parting, my dear fellows.
And that brings us to the end of my adventures in Great Britain. A peculiar twist of fate brought me halfway around the world those
Oh
many
shit,
months
it's the
ago.
Titanic!
But
No,
that was
it's not
just
even
the start
close.
of my journey. Who knows where fate will lead me next? Still, I'm confident this won't be my last meeting with the friends I've made in London. And when we're together again, no doubt the first words I'll hear will be,
Game is afoot.
The ship, with our friends from the east, sailed steadily towards the distant horizon. But Sholmes' face was alight with joy.
The times may change, but a steadfast friendship will remain true, Wilson. We have but to gently close our eyes, and we are with our companions once more.
So I do just that. And when I do, I can hear his strong, familiar voice ring out.
Objection!
Until we meet again, Runo.
Runo!
Alright, hold on. Let's boost that game volume for a little bit.
Credits dance break.
Oh shit, there's more dialogue.
I've been thoroughly entertaining inquiries about like fuck, but I've no purveyor of electrical goods and want to promise close court secrecy. Anyway, I've decided an absence from London is in order. A sojourn in distant climes.
The Empire of Japan, perhaps. I understand that wardrobe class incurs no charge whatsoever. He'll be hiding in the closet.
I gave a little note to Hurley the other day. It just said, "Thank you for everything, Daddy." But it made Hurley cry. I gave him some lotion I invented as well to dye his hair red safely. But he said that it might make him cry too, so he'd rather not use it.
In those days, when I was known as the Reaper, I felt your presence at my side. Once, unable to bear the burden of that grim pseudonym, I even retired from the courtroom. Despite everything, I still wear your prosecutor's badge with pride. But in the darkness that once beset me is no more, as you, too, are no more. In the words of a young foreign friend of mine, I must stride forward towards a brighter future. But the sun, it is too bright! No, if you want to know what's happening to Gina, you can look at the screen and read it for yourself. If the dog has a line, I'll voice it. I have more faith in the dog than you, Gina, but bye-bye! Are we just gonna ignore the fact her boss was arranging people to be killed? Like, he was misled by Strongheart, but still, come on. You're dead!
Gina, the truth is I'm not the upstanding fellow you think I am. You might be a diver at heart, but it's a good heart. You reminded me I need to be true to myself. I've got one more job to take care of before it's ta-ta to London for the foreseeable. And then, I've got to complete your education in the art of detection a la Gregson, as they say. You're gonna have a very high sodium count.
What a shit-eating grin.
Your Excellency, this man is accused of illegal entry into the office of Minister of Foreign Affairs. Objection! Complete overstatement! Overruled! The minister has been detained in Britain anyway! Here's Catfish Counsel for the defense and the... God, you're going too fast for me, game! Really, my friend Susanna-san is in the British courtroom all the time and doing a wonderful job!
Perhaps I should have engaged the services of a regular legal team. I'm so fucked. The one case Ouchie might just win.
Mama, is it true about Japanese people? Are they experts at filleting corpses? Yes, they are. Fish corpses on the whole. I'd like to hone my own filleting skills. You don't mind, do you, Mama? Yes, I do. I'm not a corpse yet, am I? No. And I'm glad.
Where's Shamspear? Give me Shamspear. Oh, it's you. Here I'm again in Great Britain on the invitation of my dear old university friend. He sent me a very nice letter saying he'd like to show me around now that everything was settled. But what have I done? I was so excited I picked this splendid hotel. Now I can't afford the bill. Oh, Barrett, come to my rescue again, please. I just wish I could vanish into thin air sometimes. But the last time I tried that, someone died, so I'm not doing that anymore.
When I went to make the maximum impression of the killer in the cemetery, I realized what had happened. But even in the witness stand of the highest court in the land, I could never speak of it. The Lord Chief Justice and I had struck a bargain, you see. For a faithful reproduction of the visage, there is nothing we twist spells would not do. And yes, we fought. Here, everyone calls me gossip. I sell jaunty little tidbits to passers-by, you know. Everyone called me Peppino, and I sell a spaghetti more ready than my heady. Everyone, they call me None, I cannot do it. This is ridiculous. Oh, Daly, how charming. You've made lots of new friends here, I see. I'm not paying your bail. Get fucked. Yes, and when we're released, we're all going to get rich together. They did not. They did not get rich.
When I was accepted on the foreign study tour, I knew exactly what path I had to take. And however it might have ended, I knew that I wanted you there to see it. If I ended up in the dock, there's no one I would have rather had defending me. But now, thanks to you, there's a new path I want to take. I'm sure we'll meet again in the courtroom, my friend. Until then, I leave Karama in your care. Rianovsky! Daly was involved in the original conspiracy. I think that's why he's in jail now. Either that, or maybe perjury finally caught up to somebody. Who knows? I've made some tea, Naruhodo-san. It's important you rest while you can. Once we arrive in Japan, you shall be busy establishing your new office. I'm so delighted to be accompanying you. After all, your talent's been recognized by the great detective. Because you really are the greatest of lawyers. A great ace attorney, some might say. Tee-hee! Wait, no! Oh, crap! Oh, okay, good. I was gonna be so mad. I was clicked off the screen. I guess that's why it didn't work. Now we have the more formulaic credits. Alright. Final thoughts? I mean, it's an Ace Attorney. We've been over this. It is not a faithful reproduction of lawyering, but we knew that from the outset. But, oh man, remember Ryutaro? And the cats? That was a fun time. Man, it feels like forever ago when we saw that double team takedown of Many Memo. I don't feel like I have much more to add. I mean, it's a charming game. I think it does, unfortunately, make its cases run just a bit too long. I feel like you cut about an hour off of almost every case, and you'd have a much tighter story instead of some of the I mean, let's face it. The last court case, they spread over 2 episodes, thinking that that would solve the problem they had in the first game, where the 5th episode went on forever. Only it didn't. It just kind of split your focus and made you forget where you were. Oh, Shamsphere, I do miss you. You were fun. Soseki pulling a Posen. Hello. Watch me do the robot. Well, for anyone that's been interested in watching my attempt to, at certain times, pick apart this game, I do hope you'll actually hop over and watch Jello Apocalypse's play. He actually just started the second game and finished the Ryutaro case last Friday, so I think he might pick it up again tomorrow. I'm not too sure. But if you've been disappointed in my voice acting, at the very least, you'll get something better on that end if you go watch him play these games. Yes, I can provide you little lawyering tidbits, but acting was not one of my fortes. Fortes, oh god. Aw, even the cat's been following us! Wait, no, Shums, come back! When will we get the other games, though? I don't know, guys. I do not feel like going back. Oh, damn. Hold on. I think Mikatoba's just a bit too old for that, but you do you. I don't... If there's a newer Ace Attorney game that comes out, I may pick that up. But I don't feel like I'm gonna go back in time. The other Ace Attorney games are very well trod on by other attorneys. So I can't say if there's any extra value I can add to those experiences. Hey, you're back from the dead! We gotta use that animation again, don't we? Ah, crap, I clicked off the screen again. Time for Avery Attorney? Is that like the dating sim with the birds? Just now you're a bird attorney? It's a nice little quaint ending. Bird law, They're gonna have kids. Don't do it in the courtroom, though. Jeez. The end. Ooh, that's good. Take that. And they were roommates. Well, that at long last is it for the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. There's no game left in the set because there were only 2. So, maybe they saw each other again. Maybe they didn't. Yeah, oh yeah, you know what? That's right. It's only been an hour, as about as I expected. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the special content that came in here, now that we've finished both games. I shied away from here since originally it was full of spoilers. I think we already took a look at the alternate outfits. Oh man, I really should have switched you over. You would have looked great in that. Susato left so, and I know Sherlock Holmes is just switching back, and this is... I mean, his jacket's off, but his underclothes had a nice mystique. Anyway. Portraits? I think we looked at all the art already. Yeah, I got it. Oh, this is definitely their fucking... Look at that. Look at that wink. Look at that smug wink. Ridiculous. Ah, so he had the little mouse instead of the bunny. Oh, they all had little plushies. What the hell? And I imagine this was probably the spoiler bit. Oh, look at that! Clinton Barrack and little small Balmoon. This is adorable. I'm glad they decided to give Genshin a mustache. That was definitely required. This is too stern. Oh God! Hold on. Can I take the? I want to take this dialogue box away. Can I zoom out? Zoom in? No. No, I definitely don't want to do that. I want text. There we go. I thought that said test window, not text window. Damn, look at that. Little baby Iris. Young Eugen. This is the whole aesthetic and I'm loving it. Then with baby Iris over here. Sham Spear! With alternative colors! Out, out, damn spot. No, well, Toby's here, so everyone enjoy Toby for a little bit. I mean, I won't deny Jenny has a good design. Her with the coat right here, close when it's kind of a bit simpler in the design, I think that looks great. I just hate the Cockney accent they force you to try and do. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, geez, there's a whole lot of dialogue I've been missing. I really don't want to read every single bit of that. Just enjoy the pretty pictures. Oh, what happened to your arms? Okay, hold on. Now this I have to look at. Are they ever going to bring up the fact that this is the fired carriage driver? He was originally going to become a completely new character, but due to circumstances, I suggest we merge him with Beppo from Adventures. I figured this could be his new job after he lost his old one, so after mixing elements, we'll be a new character. There we go. It is Beppo. Thank God. Your big, strong arms. Male Strongheart. So the cane was actually new. That's what I thought. I didn't think he was gripping a unicorn head the whole time. That would hurt. Gee, well, look at that! Little baby attorney! I like how they have a little motif here with a crown sitting on Strongheart's head. Though it's interesting, there are so many more... The central characters definitely take up a lot more of this than they do of this. Like, you only really have Ryunosuke, Barrick, Shalms, Susato, Iris, and Cosma. And there are, of course, some people in the background, but that's it. Here, it's much more of a mixed job. Like, everyone who was a witness in one of the cases seems to have shown up here, except for Sandwich and Venus. Heck, they even put Clint up here. And Genshin. And Shishiro. Oh yeah, and then they had to mix them up for the Chronicles. And I like this. I mean, so the problem is, you have to look at this and go, okay, so this is clearly Male Strongheart, clearly some central antagonist. Why else is he framed that way? So there's kind of an implicit spoiler, but at the same time, what else are you going to do? Because you have Clint over here, you have Genshin over here, Shishiro's over here drinking tea, getting some of that sip. And then for some reason they put Hosonaga down here. And also Ray, who's in one case. So it's just interesting choices as to who they decide to put on the cover here. He does that pose a lot, but he's central, emblazoned in like fire, and above the protagonist. If that doesn't strike you as chief antagonist, I don't know what would. And then just... I think this is for the first game. Yeah, this is for the first game. Which I may not have looked at. Okay, well, then he'd just be Santa. Just, okay, hold on. Did he admit it? Did he admit to just making him look like Santa? No. No, that was more just a callback to how British judges looked. Which, fair, but still. Alright, well, we've seen all of this before, I think. Maybe. What the hell? I don't feel like I want to play through all of these. I'm not even sure what's happening, but at least take a look at this one. This one. The animals are here to watch with us. End of the 19th century. Oh, is this just an ad?
そしてそうむしろ致命的に矛盾しているのです。
何をなさっているのですか、なるほど様。
ああ、スサトさん。
Hey, she said Naruhodo-sama.
ているのです。
張り切って？
来年発売予定の大逆転裁判で奇跡の出会いが待っているのですが、その人物と今日この大法廷で一足早く会えるらしいのです。日本男児としてやり手なところを見せておきたいじゃないですか。
ああ、やる気でございますね、なるほど様。
でもなんだかちょっと怖いですね、夜の大法廷は。
先ほど見物したロンドン島恐怖展もそれは恐ろしゅうございましたから。
佐藤さん、ロンドン中の催し物を調べ上げていますよね。
明日見て回る恐怖展の予定もかっちり組み上げてありましたもん。
別に恐怖限定でなくてもいいと思うけど。
What's that noise?
ところで、
Oh, okay, so it is digest. I thought it was like something outside my room.
そういえばこの大法廷、幽霊が出るという噂がございます。
やめてください。ロンドン島恐怖展の直後でやや敏感になっていますから。何者だ。
なるほど、どうやら全て見えたようだ。我が名推理がささやく真実、君の正体はズバリ殺害されたイタリア人のコック長だ。
Murdered an Italian
自分が
chef.
死んだことにも気がつかず大法廷をさまよっているとはね。
So I assume this is the reveal of Sherlock Holmes. Oh shit.
まさかあなたはあの世界的な名探偵シャーロック・ホームズ様。
Oh, she just said Sherlock Holmes.
僕のことをご存知なのです。
もちろんでございます。ご活躍いつも拝見しております。シャーロック・ホームズの冒険、船便で。
So Japan is able to escape the copyright claim for using his name.
本に書いてあった通りです。
ありえないことを消去すれば後に残るのは真実だけなのだよ。
それも本に書いてありました。
でもさっきのべらぼうな言いがかりは何なんだ。
名推理と言いがかりは紙一重の運次第なのだよ。
それは本に書いてありませんでした。
どういうことですか。殺されたイタリア人のコック長って。
実にいい質問だ、コック長君。では始めるとしよう。シャーロック・ホー
Oh
ムズ
wow,
の
they're gonna do
推
a
理
whole
を。
thing here.
僕はね、つい先ほど電報で事件の通報を受けてここへ来たのだ。大法廷にてイタリア人コック殺害さる。
大法廷、
イタリア人。
そう、僕の完璧な読みに間違いなどありえないのさ。異国の技物、刃物といえばもうコック長に間違いない。キラリと光る五つ星は生前の腕前を物語っている。一見かなり東洋人っぽいが地球規模で見れば気にはならない。そして背中に突き刺さったナイフ、とっくに死んでいる証拠だ。故に君はどこから見てもイタリア人で死んでいてコック長だ。なんでもこの大法廷には幽霊が出るという噂らしいよ。
Sholmes, you've done it again.
今の名推理、どこから見てもさっきの電報の後付けじゃないですか。
だって背中に深々と刺さっているそのナイフを見れば明らかだろ。
あ、これおもちゃです。
ロンドン東京府店の売店で大はしゃぎで買ってまいりました。
まさかとは思うが、今さら死んでないなんて言い出すつもりじゃないだろうね。
死んでません。
しかしイタリア人の死んだコック長でないとしたら、君は一体何者なのだ。
はい、僕は弁護士のなるほど龍之介です。大日本帝国から司法を学ぶため、この大英帝国に留学してきました。
私は御言葉すさとと申します。なるほど様をお助けする法務助手でございます。
Where would you have seen this? This is clearly some sort of ad, but it goes on forever.
という可能性はみじんもないのかな。
ありません。
ホームズ様、よろしければその電報見せていただけますか。
これは、この電報明らかに矛盾している。
え？
よく見てください。大法廷ではなく大法廷です。
大法廷。
Why is this telegram in London written in Japanese?
裁判所の近くに大法廷というイタリア料理店があるそうです。陸軍に伝わる恐怖の大砲で焼いたピッツァが名物なのだとか。
なんだって。
そう、あなたは電報の事件現場を完璧に読み間違えたのです。
We going to address the knife in your back?
電報なのに日本語のネタってどうなんだ。
Oh, thank you for pointing that out.
それでは今回はこの辺で。今度はゲームでお会いしましょう。
次回もそれは見事な名推理を披露させてもらおうかな。
僕だって大法廷に立って怪事件を見事料理してやります。
ではコック長君、うまいカルパッチョを所望するよ。
だから僕はイタリア人でもコック長でもありませんから。
Alright, one more. I don't think I want to do... Oh shit, no, go back. Oh boy. Yes, that was a mistake. Yeah, no, maybe one day, but not today. We'll at least do this one though.
これより逆転裁判15年を振り返る特別法廷を開廷します。弁護側、検察側とも準備はよろしいですかな。
準備以前にどこですか、ここは。
大審院、大日本帝国の法廷です。いわゆる明治時代の。
いわゆる明治時代。
あ、それってもしかしてご先祖様とかいるのかも。
もっと驚こうよ、迷いちゃん。
どうやら時空がねじれたようです。あまり気にしないことです。それでは検察側はいかがですかな。準備の方は。
なんというか、僕弁護士なのですけど。
今日はいろいろな都合でそちらに立っていただきます。
何やら大人の都合のほのかな香りがいたしますね。
失礼ですけど、検事さん、あなたはどなたですか。妙に親近感があるような。
I'm your grandfather!
僕も同じことを考えていました。なんというか、とても他人とは思えないというか。
それではせっかくなのでお互い自己紹介を願いましょうか。
僕は弁護士のなるほど龍之介であります。
なるほど。お兄様では。何しろギザギザが多いですから。
生き別れの兄にはあいにく覚えがありません。
聞いたことがあるぞ。
僕の先祖に龍之介という名前の弁護士がいるって。
じゃああのおじいさんは
僕のご先祖様？
今さりげなくおじいさん呼ばわりでございましたね。
なんだか妙に老け込んだ気分です。
やっぱりそういうことだったんだ。お隣のあなたは私のご先祖様なんですね。おしとやかで凛としてて、まさに理想のご先祖様。子孫の綾里迷いです。私は法務助手の御言葉すさとでございますが。
完全に赤の他人だったね。
なんだろう、この強烈ながっかり感。なんだか申し訳ございません。せっかくですから
Let's have an orgy.
綾里家の先祖になってください。綾里すさと、確かに語呂は良いかと存じますが、
人類史上かつてない不条理なお願いをされましたね、スサトさん。
語呂はいいのにな。綾里すさと。
本日は逆転裁判15周年の1年間を振り返るものとします。
15周年ですか？
ええ、2001年初代逆転裁判が誕生。それを記念してこの1年いろいろやってきましたね。
そうそう、今年の1月にはでっかいイベントをやったり、15周年特別法廷、あれは楽しかったよね。
That means their 20th anniversary is already come and
15
gone.
年という時の重さをみんなと噛みしめたんだね。
待った、一言よろしいでしょうか。
何ですか？
時の重さをかみしめる記念であるのならば、まずなるほど様の生誕100年以上こそ祝うべきではございませんか。
100年以上？
やめましょう、スサトさん。時が重すぎて床が抜けます。
いやはや、まさに人生の先輩。ありがたやありがたや。
拝まれてしまいましたね。
気軽に明治を振り回すのは控えた方が良さそうです。
それに去年は舞台をやったり、ついにテレビアニメにもなったりね。いやー、私たちも毎週お楽しみだったよね。
待った！
テレビ？
アニメ？
一体何のことか。一から説明してもらおうじゃありませんか。
100年の壁は分厚いみたいだな、やっぱり。
あと今年はあれもありましたね。オーケストラコンサート、なんと9年ぶりだったそうです。
9年分の感動があったよね。私泣いちゃったもん。
待った！
オーケストラ？
What the?
コンサート？
ああ、交響楽団の演奏会ですか。それなら先祖でもわかりますね。
ベートーベン様、モーツァルト様、バッハ様。素敵でございます。
全く読めないけど納得してくれたみたいだ。
この頃の何でも漢字で書いちまえって風潮、何だったんだろうね。
確かにね。シェイクスピアがサオーだっけ？
You mean Shakespeare?
なるほどくんは差し詰め、なるおだね。
沖縄はやめようか。こっちも老け込んだ気分になるよ。
そしてつい先日8月3日のことでしたね。大日本帝国国民待望の大逆転裁判2、ついに発売。
ありがとうございます。
いやー、僕たちもしっかり遊ばせてもらいましたよ。
Wait, if you enjoyed it, then you would know who Ryunosuke is.
あ、そうだね。何しろ 全ての謎が今解き明かされましたからね。あれ、どうかしましたか？
その一言がこの数年強烈な重圧だったもので。
ご先祖様の方にもいろいろあったのでございます。
Man, this goes on for a
何し
while.
ろ全てはご先祖から始まったわけです。いやはや、ありがたやありがたや。
意義あり。お言葉ですが、裁判長のただいまの発言は完全に矛盾しています。
なんですと？どういうことですか？
実はさっきからずっと気になっていたんですけど、ご先祖様、ある種やけに滑らかに動いてますよね。
あれ、そうかな。
ほら、それです。
確かに。なるほどくん、机を叩くのにパカパカと絵が2コマしかないよ。
ちなみに意義ありはどんな感じですか？
意義あり。意義あり。さすがにそれは嘘でしょう。
とにかくこのパカパカっぷり、僕としてはこっちこそが先祖であり元祖の気分です。
反論できない。
つまりお互いが先祖であり、そして元祖であると。それは時空がねじれるのも無理はございませんね。
それではそろそろ閉廷の時間です。
それで僕たちどうやって帰ればいいのですか？21世紀に。
明治の街をブラブラして時間を潰すというのはいかがでしょう？
大帝都東京は華やかですから、100年なんてあっという間ですよ。
どうやら何としてもあの一言を僕に言わせる流れみたいですね。
おお、先祖と元祖、夢の共演だね。それでは逆転裁判のさらなる発展を祈って皆様もご一緒に。せーの。
意義あり。迷っちゃダメ。
時代は回る。きっとそういう。
You and your silly 2 dimensions.
それではまたどこかでお会いいたしましょう。
Maya has to put bricks next to his feet. Well, that was weird as fuck, but you know what? Appropriate. I think... let's take one last look at what's back here. No more of that. Enjoy musical interludes and voice clips. Ooh, okay. Hold on. No, I thought it would stick around. Great Pursuit. How's this sound? Ooh, that is good. I'll let this play for a little bit. It's not bad, but it's just the pursuit themes in this game definitely sell it. Alright, guys. That's going to be it for me tonight, and at long last, that will be it from the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Thank you all for joining me for this long adventure. It was definitely took longer than I thought it would, especially when I had to keep voicing all the roles myself. But hey, what you gonna do? You get what you sign up for. Let me go ahead and send you guys off to Grant, who's playing in the Multiversus beta. I will be back tomorrow. I'm not sure with what. Maybe I might do like a riff tracks with the audience. Everyone else is currently busy, but I think we can do some more of that Cards Against Humanity style riffing. Who knows? Anyway, that's just me, pointless musing out loud, trying to make promises I don't know if I can keep. Who knows? Anyway, hope everyone has a great night. I'll talk to you all tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, stay golden, and all the other normal stuff people used to sign off with. Bye!